So for those of you that don't know, my name is Arthur Moats, retired linebacker of the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I will be your host for tonight's interview. And let me just say, I'm excited to talk to this guy right here because he came into the NFL in 1997 NFL Draft when the Jacksonville Jaguars selected him in the second round with the 50th overall selection out of West Virginia University.
Let's go, Mountaineers.
And after coming into the NFL, he enjoyed a 10-year career with the first 4 being with the Jacksonville Jaguars, but his final 6 right here in Pittsburgh.
That's right.
And during that time, he was a part of the Pittsburgh Steelers Super Bowl 40 championship team. So without further ado, give a warm Steelers welcome to the McKeesport product, the one and only number 31, Mike Logan.
What's up, Steeler Nation? The greatest nation in the world. Yeah.
I see the energy. I feel the energy.
I'm hyped up today,
It's prime
baby.
time, baby. You know how prime
I'm hyped
time
up today.
is.
Let's go.
So, I mean, since it is prime time, let's talk a little bit about that. You being a player that has played in plenty of prime time games, what is the mindset like when it's a night like tonight?
I mean, if you just look around and you feed off the energy in here, you know what it's like. But imagine that on steroids if you're an NFL player. All day, you have to sit in your hotel room all day and just anticipate what you're going to do on the field. So you start that visualization going, you get the butterflies in your stomach. You really don't even want to eat. You just want to get to the stadium, get in your locker, put on your cleats and your pads, and you're ready to go. I mean, it's an outstanding feeling.
No, without a doubt, man. And I'm getting goosebumps even thinking about it, man.
You think you got a couple plays left in you?
No, but you do, though. You definitely do. You do.
I'm older than you. I ain't got that left.
But talk to me, man. So I said earlier, you did come in the 1997 NFL Draft, but tell me about your draft story. Were you expecting to go when you went?
No.
Did you think the Steelers were going to draft you, or what was going on?
I wanted the Steelers to draft me, and at the time they were looking for a defensive back, but they selected Chad Scott in the first round. So I was like, dang, where am I going to go? You know, I was actually at a draft party for my roommate who was at West Virginia with me, who was an All-American linebacker named Canute Curtis. So as we had the same agent as well. So my agent pulls me back in the room because they thought he was going to get drafted in the first round. And he said, man, I'm getting phone calls for you as opposed to Canute. So I'm like, what should I do? And lo and behold, in the second round, I got selected, and he still hadn't got selected. So most of his family was there for a party for him, but it ended up being a party for me because he didn't get drafted till the next day. So it was kind of one of them bittersweet things like, should we party or should we still wait for him to get drafted? But he came up to me. He was such a good dude about it. He said, listen, you about to make more money than I am because you got selected in the second round. So let's go party, and we're going to spend your money tonight. And we had a good time. It was a good time. Yeah.
Let's go. Let's go. Joined right now by Super Bowl champ Mike Logan. Now, you played your first 4 years in Jacksonville, but after that, you had a chance to come back home to the black and gold. And as I said earlier, you're from right up the road, McKeesport. So what was it like for you getting a chance to play back home in front of the hometown team and in front of your hometown Steeler Nation fans?
Well, if you look around and you see some of the greats up here that's on this wall, Joe Green, Franco Harris, Rocky Bleier, Terry Bradshaw, the Chief, I knew that history and tradition growing up because I was born actually right on the south side, right up in St. Clair Village. So I felt like I was always a part of Steeler Nation, but to make it official, and the first time I ran out that tunnel, donning the black and gold, I had tears coming down my eyes. And the rest of my family did too because we couldn't believe it was such an astronomical feat that had happened. So I still get chills to this day, and it still feels so surreal to me that I was a part of all of this growing up, and then I really got to be a part of it and win a Super Bowl with my hometown team. It's just amazing, and I give God all the glory for that.
No, without a doubt. And speaking of winning a Super Bowl, as I said, you were a part of that Super Bowl 40 championship team, and since we do got visitors here in Pittsburgh, when we talk about championships, we get loud and make a little noise. So since I do have a Super Bowl champ, can I get a little noise real quick?
There we go. Let's go. Let's go.
It comes with the territory.
It does, man. You know what I mean? It's almost inbred in you when you're born and raised in Pittsburgh. It doesn't matter if you're a male, female, black, white, yellow, green. When we come together as a nation, I mean, if the world could model off of how Steeler Nation is as fans, I mean, we would be A-OK. And as you can see, the results of it, we got 6 Super Bowl trophies to back us up, right?
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Talk to me about that Super Bowl 40 experience, though, for you, man. Super Bowl champ, but what was that like?
So, as you remember, if y'all don't remember, we were an 8-8 team. We barely made the playoffs as a wild card. We had to go on the road and win some games to get to the big game. So everybody was doubting us, but you didn't see one player, one person in this organization who didn't think we were going to go to the Super Bowl. So much so that even when Jerome Bettis fumbled the ball in Indianapolis, I went up to him and said, man, your career can't go out like that. We're going to make it to the next game. And it was just that much confidence that we had in each other. It wasn't cockiness. We just knew that we had a destiny to fulfill, and we knew that we were going to get it done in Super Bowl 40. We deserved to be there.
No, without a doubt. And you guys took care of business.
No doubt.
And speaking of, I mean, we obviously know throughout Pittsburgh, it's been some legendary players to play here. You named some of them up there. We obviously know Jerome Bettis, but there was a specific guy that played safety here. Just got recently inducted into the Hall of Fame. You might know him, Troy Polamalu, right?
Woo!
Well, something unique happened during his Hall of Fame speech. He specifically, out of all his teammates, talked about you, Mike Logan. Talk about what that moment was like for you, and more importantly, you and Troy Polamalu's relationship.
Well, first of all, you know, I was going to go up to the Hall of Fame induction, but Troy had COVID. So we didn't know if he was going to be there. His agent called and said, you know, Troy probably isn't going to be able to go to the Hall of Fame. So I ended up taking my family to Kennywood that day. And I said, we're going to go home and just watch the speech before Troy speaks. And all throughout Kennywood, people were coming up to me like, what are you doing here? You know what I mean? You're supposed to be at Canton watching Troy. And lo and behold, I turn it on, and he says my name. And I'm just like, chills. I felt like I was there with him. But it just tells you about the type of person that Troy is and the relationship that we have with one another. My wife is out there. She always teases me when Troy comes into town. She was like, you and Troy be looking into each other's eyes like y'all just family. I said, that's a family bond that we got. And it's unspeakable. I mean, I could pick up the phone and call that guy right now, and we'll talk for hours and hours. I could not talk to him for several months at a time, and we'll get together, and it's like we never missed a beat. But Troy is the most humble human being that I've ever met in my life. And I mean, I get emotional every time I think about him calling me out in that speech. It's just an amazing feeling, man.
No, without a doubt, man. Shout out to Troy Polamalu.
Troy P.
Now, during your 10-year career, you made a ton of plays. But I have to ask, throughout your career, what is your favorite play from your career?
So, my favorite play actually isn't a play where I did anything great, but I tackled Barry Sanders in the open field by myself.
That is pretty great. That's pretty great.
That was better than any interception that I had. And I will stake a claim to fame. I don't normally do this, but if you go back and look at the history of Renegade, the song Renegade, I had to play right after that started that phenomenon, and Mike Marchinsky told me that. So if you go back and look at that, that's probably one of my most memorable plays. So every time I hear Renegade right now, I tell people around me, y'all better watch out, baby. Something's about to happen.
Yeah. And we're going to get Renegade tonight. I cannot wait.
Up, baby. We're going to renegade it up.
Ooh. Now, Mike, the final question that I have for you is this. We always talk about that moment when we realize we are no longer in college anymore. We're in the big leagues now.
Right.
And we typically call it our welcome to the NFL moment. And yeah, it's not the best moments for us typically. But if you could, just talk about your welcome to the NFL moment.
Ooh, so I was a defensive back, but in high school, I was a tailback, so I enjoyed running the football. So when I got into the NFL, they allowed me to return kickoffs and punts. We're in Denver playing against the Broncos. They talk about the mile-high air up there, so Tom Coughlin said the ball's probably going to hang up in the air for a long time. You're probably going to need to fair catch it. So if it goes up high and it has a lot of hang time, fair catch it. Me, being the rookie that I am, saying that I'm going to go out here and make a play, I decided not to do a fair catch. I proceeded to try to catch the ball on my fingertips, and I got rocked by one of the Denver Broncos players, fumbled the football, was knocked unconscious on my first play as an NFL rookie. So that was my welcome to the NFL, you stupid rookie.
That's pretty elite, Ricky. That's pretty elite right there. I like
elite.
that. I like that. Well, that was my final question for you, but I do like the crowd today, and if you guys have any questions that you want to ask Super Bowl champion Mike Logan, we got time for a few, so if you have a question, come on up.
I just wanted to ask Mike if he enjoyed getting beat in cornhole on the Steeler cruise.
Oh, man.
Oh.
Hey, so we go. If any of you haven't been on the Legends of Pittsburgh's cruise, please look it up. And we get on a ship. We go out and sail for 7-8 days. We have a lot of interactive events with all the fans. And I did pretty good, though, in cornhole, right? I did pretty good. But I got taken down. But we've been out there working. My kids were just out there working with me. And I think I'm going to be ready next time. I think I'm going to win the championship.
I like it. I like it. Do we have another question for Mike Logan, the Super Bowl champ over here? Come on up. And how are you, by the way?
Oh.
Are you coming to yoga?
So listen, I am the least flexible person that you will ever meet in your life. So even if I show up, do not try to put me down on that yoga mat. You promise?
I promise.
All right, there we go. All right.
Come on.
Listen, what about Arthur? Oh, man, see, I knew he was going to be there. Listen, Arthur's still a young lad. I just turned 50 years old a couple of weeks ago. So listen, these muscles and bones don't go where they used to, you know what I mean? So y'all got to take it easy on me, all right? Y'all got to take it easy on me. I can't get on the mat. I might be there and just do some instruction. Look, you seen Mel Blount? Mel look like he can still play right now. I
Mel
look like I'm
definitely looks like he
somebody's
can still
dad
play.
right
There's
now.
Mel Blount we talking about. Looking
Yep,
forward
we'll be
to
there.
it.
We'll be there.
All right, we have time for one final question. Actually, we'll do two, because I like you. Both of y'all come on up. Yep.
I do have a question. What was it like to play with the Ben Roethlisberger?
Well, as you know, Ben was one of the greatest quarterbacks in Pittsburgh Steelers history. And the amazing thing about Ben was he was a rookie when he came in, and he had to take the Rams when Tommy Maddox got hurt. And as a rookie, like as a veteran player, you're looking at a rookie player, you're like, we don't know if we can have, that much faith in him. He has to prove himself. And lo and behold, look what he did with his career. So it was an awesome career for Ben. And I think he learned a lot from the veterans when he was a rookie. Therefore, he was able to pass down the knowledge and wisdom that he gained from all the veteran players to the younger players after him.
I like it.
I'd like to know, what is the biggest history question, Dallas, Pittsburgh, that exists?
Well,
Uh-oh.
I want to bring somebody up here who's a special guest for me. I want to bring somebody up here now. This is my, I don't know, I was going to say.
Hey now.
He might be an adopted kid right now, but this is my son, Rain, who is a CeeDee Lamb fan, right? And Rain, but this is something that my wife and I pride ourselves on, about allowing our kids to grow up and make their choices. So I wanted to ask him, why are you a Cowboys fan?
Because I like CeeDee Lamb.
You like CeeDee Lamb?
Yeah, and I think I'm a great leader too.
You?
I think I'm a great leader too.
All right, so listen, I love that. I love the fact that he's his own person and that he, cheers for who he likes. We don't put any pressure on him. But he did give his dad some kudos and took me to school for show and tell. So I was in show and tell at school for Pittsburgh week, and then he became a Steelers fan. So he wasn't alive when I was playing ball, but now he's got a little bit of the history, and he's a Steelers fan now, right?
Yeah.
All right, so give it up for my son, Rain. Yeah. That's right. Thanks, Rain. I appreciate
like
you,
it.
buddy.
I like it. Give another round of applause for young Rain taking the stage with us. And final question right here. Oh,
Question?
question? Oh, okay. All right, well, if you got final question right here, and then after that, we'll conclude it.
I want to know, what's your favorite Steeler memory?
Your favorite
Man.
Steeler memory. Okay.
I mean, for me, it's obviously the Super Bowl, but it wasn't that we won the Super Bowl. My mother was terminally ill when we were playing in the Super Bowl. And unfortunately, I got hurt in the Super Bowl. I got hurt in the third quarter, blew my knee out, and I couldn't go back into the game. And I looked up in the stands, and I seen my family. They were trying to make sure that I was okay. But I was so worried about my mother, I was just making sure she was okay. So after the game, she comes down, and she's like, my baby accomplished his dream. And I said, Mom, that wasn't my dream. My dream was you being on this field with me. I was able to lift her up over the wall at Ford Field and walk across the field with her and stand in the middle of the field and accomplish my dreams and accomplish my dream with her. That was the best feeling in the world. And Linda Logan, rest in peace. I hope I'm still making you proud. Love you, Mom.
No, that is awesome right there. So with that being the case, that will conclude tonight's interview. But give another round of applause for Super Bowl champ Mike Logan. And if you're ready to go see the Steelers, let me see you make some noise.
Here we go. Steelers, here we go. Pittsburgh's going to the Super Bowl. Here we go.